Hello, and welcome to a special edition of Open Line. I'm Starlene Stringer. We're on location at the Heritage Senior Center talking about some of the programs helping people stay active mentally and physically in their golden years. Now, viewers were invited to submit questions via email, Facebook, and Twitter, and we'll be getting those answered throughout the show. Our guests are Senior Center Supervisor Ann Gillespie and Recreation Specialist Trent Alexander, Vicki Miller, and Pat Davenport. And we are also happy to have a whole lot of guests behind us too, demonstrating some of the activities that they take part in here at the Senior Center. Thank you all so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Well, this is going to be fun. We're going to start with you, Ann. There's so much to talk about today, but I know y'all have something big coming up in December. It's a big anniversary, right?
Yes, this is our 9th anniversary, and we celebrate, we're doing Holiday in the Heritage, which is an intergenerational program, and it mixes children, of course, with the seniors as well as all different ages. And what is happening at the event is actually music and entertainment in the ballroom, which is where we are now. In the dining room, we have a lot of children with their parents and grandparents making gingerbread houses, as well as talking to Mrs. Claus. It's just a great event. It brings all ages together. It's a lot of fun. It kicks off the holiday season. And then we'll celebrate with the mention of our 9th anniversary for the Heritage Senior Center to be open.
Wow, 9 years. There's definitely a lot of fun that's going to be happening at that event, but there's a lot of fun happening here all the time. What kind of growth have you seen in those 9 years?
There's been a lot of growth. As a lot of the citizens know, we were at the Lively Senior Center, which is now Lively Point across from Irving High School, and we moved over here in 2003. And it's grown tremendously. We also lowered the age from 55 to 50, which brought in a lot more seniors as well, the younger seniors who are still working but come primarily in the afternoon. So quite a bit of growth. I don't know exactly what percentage, but a lot.
Yeah, and like I mentioned, there are so many programs to talk about, so we're going to switch and talk to Trent for just a second. And Trent, I know that there's a very, very popular program here that you're over in control, and it is Power H2O. And I had the opportunity to attend one of the classes, very impressive, but there's a lot of people who may not be familiar with it, so tell us about it.
Yeah, H2O Power, water power is the class. It's a water exercise class. My brainchild of how to format it so that it's energetic. It's explosive, live music, a lot of pumping bass. The seniors, to my surprise, enjoyed that, and they enjoyed the rigorous workout that I give them in that class.
I think a lot of people would be surprised by that, because when you say like the bass, I remember, my mom's always telling my brother, turn that music down, turn that bass down, but they like it.
Yes, they enjoy it. The what we call beats per minute, I keep it high, I keep it very active. They seem to want that, even though at times they say, oh man, you really worked us out. They come back every Monday, 6:30 to 7:30. They join me in the water, and they have a great time with it.
And why do you think that is? You think they like the challenge of it? Because like you said, it's very high energy.
Yes, I think they like the challenge of it all. I believe this senior that we have today, they're willing to think outside the box. They're not looking for so much passive ways of doing things, and I think that has their place. But my particular senior ladies on that Monday night, they're very interested on kind of stepping outside the comfort zone and allowing me to push them a little bit more than they would normally do themselves. And so it has grown over the years. I can top out about 30 women in the water at times. They limit me at the pool. I think I could have more, but we have to keep the swim lanes open for everybody else. So.
That makes sense. Yeah. That makes sense. But it's good that they're attending and getting that workout in and having fun too, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Vicki, we want to talk about some of the things that are going on behind us, because there's a lot of activities to be highlighted here right now, and one of them is watercolors. Tell me about that.
That is a painting class, watercolor painting, and Ron Stevens is the leader, and he teaches anywhere from, you can be a beginner to an advanced. It doesn't matter what level you're at, and he's wonderful to work with them, and it's amazing what even the beginners come in there and do. We also have paintings in the hallway, and they rotate of our classes that do the paintings here, so they get to display their artwork throughout the year.
Wonderful, and it's beautiful. And you mentioned some of them being amateur, but I'm looking at some of the artwork that they're doing behind us, and I'm blown away. I'm thinking I'd come in and I'd make like a little stick person, and they've got some
You'd
great
be surprised. He's very good, and it's just amazing. I've seen some beginners come in, and I'm blown away with what they do.
I bet. Well, for those who aren't painters or don't want to become painters, what other kind of activities are there for them?
There is. We have a hand and foot class, which is a card class or a card game.
Okay.
And they meet twice a week, and they have tons of fun, just light and fun. There's canasta, there's 42, bridge, there's all kinds of games if you want to come and do something like that. We also have oil painting, ceramics, and just an assortment of all kinds of craft classes that just switch out throughout the year.
Wow, it sounds like a lot of fun. And something else that's very fun, you guys, is that I want to talk to you about, Pat, and that is the Miss Mature pageant. I know that's coming up very soon, and it's the 30th anniversary. So what kind of preparations are underway for that right now?
A lot.
I bet.
We are in the process of looking for sponsorships, rehearsing with the contestants, getting the program booklets ready, all of those things.
With those who aren't familiar with it, you know, we say Miss Mature and it kind of gives you an idea of obviously what it is, but there are still some people going, well, what exactly is it? Who can be a part of it? And give us more information.
Sure, it's a pageant for senior ladies. You have to be 60 years old or older, and you have to have lived in Irving for at least 1 year. And other than that, they do their thing on stage, do speeches and a talent and evening wear.
And what would you say they get out of it from taking part in that event?
Most of them are amazed because a lot of them have never tried anything on stage or done any kind of drama or theater activity, and they're surprised at what they're capable of. So I love to see people blossom when they complete the show and say, look what I just did.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, when is it and where is it?
It's going to be October 5th,
Okay.
7 p.m., a Friday night at the Irving Arts Center in the Carpenter Theater.
Sounds like a whole lot of fun, and a lot of people want to be there for sure. Okay, well, we've touched on a few activities so far, but a lot of people are probably already interested in those things, but they want to know what does someone need to do to visit, to attend? So I'll address that to you, Ann. How do they participate in this?
Well, they need to be 50 years or older. They come and fill out a registration form. Irving residents are $10 a year, which is really cheap. And a lot of people are like, wow, $10, that's fantastic.
A bargain.
It is a bargain. And the non-residents are $30 a year. And the same thing, they fill out an application that is good for a year, that fee is, and then they renew their application annually. There are some activities and things that they can do that are free, and then a lot of the classes have different fees just depending on the class.
Okay.
And so they just come and participate. We have from the fitness room to billiards to the classes that Vicki had mentioned. So there's lots of opportunities, but it's easy to join.
Sounds like it, and it sounds like a lot of fun. And there's something else that's really fun that goes on we haven't talked about yet. And Trent, I'm going to ask you about that. That's dancing. On Tuesday nights, you have dancing going on. We got to check that out a little bit.
Yes.
Is it every Tuesday night?
Every Tuesday night, some format. Most of the time we'll have a live band to come through, but we changed the format up a little. On the fourth Tuesday of the month, we have our own DJ. Of course, his music is downloaded to his computer. He's able to pull it down and play that right here in our ballroom. So you still get the quality of sound with the opportunity to come in and dance. And it was just a way for us to kind of tweak the format a little bit and see if we like that.
Okay, so let's talk about this a little more. What kind of dance? Because you talked about the bass just, blaring and having a great time when we're doing the water, the H2O power. So what about the dance? I mean, we're hearing hip hop. Is it line dancing? Is it formal? A little bit of everything?
It's a variety, but you'll be surprised that on DJ night, he has a lot more flexibility than our live band. And so I've seen them do the Cuban shuffle. Which,
wow.
Yes, I know.
Fun.
I was shocked. I was shocked to see that with myself.
I don't even have that down.
I've seen them line dance to some of the Motowns.
Okay.
A little bit of something variety for everyone, and the DJ can do that much better than a band can because he just has to get the feel for what the crowd is looking for, and then he can switch it up in his download. The band has a formatted playlist. They're going to stick with it most of the time, but our population usually, our attendance level is about 80 or so, 85 people will show up to dance on any given Tuesday night. So
that's what I was going to ask you. So it's pretty popular.
Yes, it is. It is very popular. And it's not just Irving. It's all, the dance clique is throughout the Metroplex. From Plano to Duncanville to Irving, you name it, we draw people from those areas. Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah. Another thing people love to do, you guys, is eat. And so I understand there's a new program called Vicki's Vittles. What is that?
Well, it's Vicki's Vittles and Game Night.
Okay.
So they come and the first hour they play board games. Just each table has a different game, or they play dominoes, whatever they want to do. And then they have a home-cooked meal that is served an hour later. The last one we had was meatloaf, pinto beans, and salad, and then a dessert. We had dirt cake for dessert, which is interesting.
Okay. Dirt cake?
Yes.
And it's
dirt
good?
Cake. They ate it right up. It had worms in it and rocks and everything.
Wow.
No,
Wow.
it's a
Edible
pudding
rocks.
type mix with cream cheese, Oreo cookies. You can't go wrong with
Yum,
crushed up
that sounds
Oreo
good.
cookies, and then little gummy worms and little chocolate covered rocks.
They
And
loved it,
makes
huh?
it kind of cute, and it's just kind of a fun thing to eat, but it's pretty good.
It does sound good. So what else can we expect from Vicki's Vittles?
Well, coming up in November, we're going to have sour cream chicken enchiladas, Spanish rice salad, and pecan pie. Getting close to Thanksgiving, we're going to throw that in there.
Yeah, you're
And,
just making me hungry right about now.
And they do stay afterwards and play games for a while too. So it's been a fun time, and I haven't had any complaints that they've told me anyway.
There you go. Now, how often is this done?
Quarterly.
Quarterly?
Uh-huh.
So you think you're going to change that and increase it and do it a little more often because it's so
they,
popular?
They would like that. It's just a matter of time. You know, they would like to have it once a month, but time, and I just, it's hard to find the time when there's other programs you have to do.
Sure, we can understand that. And something else that's going on behind us right now, or that some people have been doing on and off between our time here, is Tai Chi. Pat, can you tell us about that?
It's a wonderful exercise program. I've always been one of the ones on staff that wanted to try anything. So if it's unusual and it hasn't been offered before, I'll give it a shot. And Tai Chi was something that they brought to me. They were actually very interested
Really?
in it.
So did you give it a try?
We did, and it is fun. It's a lot of fun.
And how often is that held?
It depends on what level you're at. We
Okay.
have it right now, intermediate and advanced levels. So twice a week. If we have the need, we'll eventually start another beginning level class.
Well, that's good to know, because I'm sure there's people watching right now going, that sounds fun, but it sounds like it could be a little overwhelming too if you've never done Tai Chi before. So for someone that's just wanting to give it a try, starting out first time ever, they'll be okay?
They'll be fine. They'll be fine. It does take a little bit of balance, a little bit of core strength, but the program's designed to help you build on that.
And is it, I know it's like known as a protection thing, but is it good fitness too?
I'm sorry?
Is it a good fitness program doing Tai Chi?
It is an excellent fitness program. It will tone muscles from your head to your toes.
Wow. How long is the class?
About an hour.
About an hour long. So these classes all go pretty long. Yeah, let me ask you that, going back to you, Trent. So what about the dance class? Is the dance class an hour also?
We have one on Friday mornings towards the afternoon. They have free dance lessons. For those who are somewhat struggling with getting out on the floor, they can come in and take dance lessons and then apply what they learn on Tuesday nights.
Oh, you know what? There's some people watching right now going, so that's how they
Yes.
got better. They didn't know that.
Yes.
So that's a little tip. You can come in and get ready for the class.
Yes.
So what happens differently in that prep class?
The prep class is a little bit more instructional, giving people a little bit more time to acquire the steps and learn what they're doing. Reba is one of our volunteers. She's been teaching dance for us for years, and some of her assistants will come in and they'll do salsa, or they'll do some merengue, or they may change it up and do a waltz. So it's up to her choice on what she wants to teach that day. But she has a pretty good following, and those who are already advanced show up somewhat to assist others and just to brush up on their own skills. So you can never learn enough.
There you go. And I know a lot of people are thinking, well, okay, people are becoming a lot more active these days, seniors in particular, and that's a good thing. Would you say that some of these different programs you offer are responsible for that, getting them up and moving and out more?
Definitely, because a lot of people say, you hear seniors say this, and I always think it's kind of funny. They say, well, that's just a place where old people might go. But they come in here and they're just blown away because there is so many different activities, and it's been proven study after study that if you get up, you move around, it will extend your life. because you're moving, you're getting social interaction, you're stimulating your brain. We have a brainastics class that Pat leads, and it's been proven time and time again, if you get out, keep your body moving, keep your brain active, that you will live a longer life. So I think that it's proven.
Yeah, that's a bonus to make you want to come, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now, I'm thinking, for me, when I walked in, I thought these things look really fun, but there is an age requirement. Someone like myself can't come in yet and have a blast and have a good time. But can people come in, say like they do have a senior in their life, maybe it's like your mother or your grandmother, and they're a little reluctant about coming to the class sometime. Can people bring them in or come talk to you about it? How do they get involved?
We have a lot of adult children who come because
good.
their parent has moved in with them, or they're isolated, they're in an apartment or situation, and they come in and tell us what's going on, and we encourage them to come. In fact, we have some folks who need a little bit of help, and their caregivers are allowed to come. If they have a caregiver that needs to come, we encourage that. So
I was just trying to find a way to get in here. Yeah. So it's like, if I could just get in here, there's so much fun going on.
Yeah,
I want to participate.
We have some things that are for, some of our fitness classes are for 18 and older, because we want to fill up our classes, and it's really nice, to have a nice mixture of folks. So
sure.
We do have some classes that are 18 and older, so it's really nice.
Wonderful. And then there are people that may just want to help out. Maybe they don't have a loved one that is here at the center or is old enough to qualify to come to the center. But what about volunteers? Can they get involved in that way too?
Yes, we have a lot of volunteers. In fact, if it wasn't for our volunteers, we probably wouldn't be able to run the center, because they help in so many ways, anywhere from office duties to helping serve food, to helping with cleaning, just all kinds of levels of volunteerism that go on here.
Wonderful. That's always a good thing. And Trent, this next question is for you, because another very popular part of this whole center is the gym area. I mean, people want to work out and get into shape. Tell me about the gym here.
The gym area, it is one of our biggest attention grabbers when folks come in. And I don't think most of America, non-seniors, realize how much seniors really want to stay fit, how much they really utilize us. We get a lot of footwork into our gym area. So that means that we have to keep our equipment up to date. We're always upgrading from what we've had, trying to go a little bit more contemporary so that our seniors feel connected to the newest product that's out there.
What's in there for those who've never been?
Yeah, we have treadmills. We have 4 treadmills. We have an elliptical. Then we also have our resistance machinery that we use for seniors. A little bit different from most gyms with a lot of free weights. We don't have that. It really doesn't translate well to the senior population to go with free weights. Number one, you don't have a spotter all the time, nor will you always have a personal trainer in there. So some of the things you need to be able to do, a machine provides that safety mechanism that they can get the full lift, they can get the full participation by utilizing the machine, rather than someone having to stand over them and spot them. So it meets our population's needs.
And if someone is kind of scared to get on a bar, I've never used, say, a treadmill before, is there someone there to help them if they need it?
That would be myself or Pat. We have 2 time slots that we would go, and we will conduct fitness orientations so that we can keep them up on the machinery we have, the jargon, how to program it, and so that they can achieve the goals that they're looking for. And sometimes I'll assist them on how to set up their schedule to come in and make sure that they're getting the full Monty of workout so they can get everything they need.
Wonderful. And speaking of schedules, Miss Vicki, I know something's coming up on the December calendar, and a lot of people are looking forward to it. It's Holiday Heritage, right? Holiday in Heritage? Tell me about it.
Holiday in the Heritage, it's an intergenerational program.
Okay.
And we have gingerbread house making for all ages, grandmas and with their grandchildren, or mothers and dads, aunts and nieces, or just a friend. And you get the house and you come, you have all kinds of candy and stuff to put on it, and a lot of times the kids probably go home with the tummy ache because they end up eating most of their house and go home with a really plain house.
You have some little Christmas things in your hand there. Do they make that there?
Yes. This is for our ornament classes that are coming up starting in October. Everybody needs to save their corn cobs, and we are going to make a Santa Claus, and you can do a snowman, little ornaments. We're going to do an ornament class. And then if you grew okra or know someone that did, save the old pods, and we make Santa Clauses out of those.
Who knew?
And then cinnamon sticks. Instead of beating your coworker, couldn't help it, you make a little snowman with a little curly hat.
Wow.
So, and then last but least, a lot of people would like you have this looks like work.
Right.
Well, you can make it fun. Make a little
So
snowman.
cute.
I mean, a Santa Claus. Yes.
So you'll be making
But
those in October.
we
and
will
you'll have
be
them ready
making
for December. and
October,
you'll have it-
November, and December. We're going to have a class and make some of them. You can use old light bulbs, gourds, all kinds of things.
Wonderful.
So.
So we've talked a little bit about fitness with Trent, and we've talked about all that arts and craft. But Pat, I know there's some other things that happen here too, like people who like to sing. What can they do here?
We have a wonderful time with it. Yeah, music's always been my thing. So we have a choir here that meets the second and fourth Monday evening of every month at 7. They're called the Heritage Singers. And we're always ready to take on a new voice. Just come audition with me real quick, just so I can hear what you sound like. Never turned anybody away, I promise. And we'll get you singing.
I love it. I love it. And just to go back, we talked about this a minute ago. We were talking about volunteer stuff. So people that want to volunteer, how do they go about registering and signing up to do so?
They come into the center and they just fill out an application. And what we do on the application will, of course, ask what they're most interested in. What would they like to help with, their preferred days, times, etc. They fill that out. And then one of the programmers, it would be Pat or Mel or any of us really, can call them back and ask them to come in. Then we talk to them and see where they fit and what we can work out with them.
Wonderful. And is there an age requirement? Because I know a lot of high school students and college students have to get so much credit for doing
Yes.
volunteer work. So is there an age requirement
We'd
here?
like 16 or older.
Okay.
We prefer that. And it's strange because we get quite a mixture sometimes. We get community service and we get also children from the high schools who need to get their community service hours
Right.
in. And they come and help. So it's really nice.
It sounds like it. And what do they do when they come? So they have an idea of what to expect.
Well, there's a lot of different things they can do. I know that we had one young lady who was coming and helping with the dances. They might help to greet people when they come to the dance. We have other volunteers who might help. Say that we have food or something going on in the kitchen as far as like a concession. They might help with the concession that day. You name it, there's
All kinds of
lots
good
of
stuff.
activities that they can help
Wonderful.
with.
And you mentioned dancing, and I know a lot of young people like to help with that. And Trent, you
Yes.
told us about some of that dancing a little bit earlier, but I know there are also other dance classes like line dancing.
Line dancing,
Yeah.
line dancing, and even round dancing. Saturdays, they have a class, a young man comes in and teaches a class. We have some line dancing. We have a group, one of our senior group who conducts line dancing. They tend to enjoy getting together. It's unique to watch that go on, but they're faithful and they show up regularly to
It
come out
sounds
and
like a lot of fun.
Yes, yes.
Now, Vicki, we've gotten to see people playing games here in the background. Tell me about some of the different gaming groups that you have here.
The different gaming groups we have are, we have the hand and foot, we have canasta, bridge, what was that? Bunko.
I just heard about
bingo.
that. My best friend does that bunko. I haven't gotten it
Yeah.
down yet, but she's been telling me about it. Yeah?
Yeah, and they do bingo a couple times a week, and they love that. Texas Hold'em, thank you.
Texas Hold,
Yes.
bunko. What is bunko for those who don't know? Because I keep hearing everyone saying how bunko is so much fun, but what is it?
May I pass that to Pat, please?
Pat's like, I'll do it.
Sure.
How do you play bunko?
It's a dice game,
Okay.
basically, and you roll for different numbers,
Okay.
different sets, kind of like cards with dice.
Okay.
So if you can count to 6 and you can toss 3 dice, you can play.
I love it.
You have all the skill required.
So much fun. Now I know Vicki tried to get rid of that question, so I'm going to give her another one. So Vicki, a lot of people know how to play bingo, but I'm just curious to know, are they playing for prizes, playing for bragging rights? What do they play for?
The Thursday morning class is playing for food, basically. Canned goods, they love just little things like that is what they
So they do win.
play for. And
some
is it Monday night? The Monday night one, they bring a gift or a prize or something with them, and then that's what they play for. So it just depends on what they bring.
Okay, and is there a fee for participating in the games?
No.
No, the games are included in their
Yes.
membership and what they get to do here. Wonderful. And Pat, for readers, there's a book club.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Tell me
the
about
third
that.
Thursday night of every month at 7. I coordinate this with Jan Bodner from the library system. And she has picked out some really interesting books.
Yeah. Is it pretty popular? People like doing the book club?
We have a good little group, usually around 8 to 10.
Okay.
In there, and it's a very vocal group. If they don't like the book, you're going to know it. If they love it, you'll know that too.
I like it. I like it. They've got to speak their minds. Well, you know, we're almost out of time. It's been so much fun learning about everything that goes on here, and there's a whole lot. But we can ask this one question of each of you, and that is, what do you hope people will get out of visiting the Senior Center? And we'll start with you, Ann.
I just hope that it enriches their life. You know, brings some type of fun to their life and recreation, and just, I mean, it's as they say, the golden years, but mostly just to enrich their lives and have the recreation time be the best it can be here.
That has to be pretty rewarding to know that it is making a difference, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's why I went into this field. It's very challenging, but at the same time, it has great rewards.
Wonderful. It takes special people to do what y'all do, so thank y'all for what you do. Trent, what would you say is the one thing you want people to get out of coming here to the Senior Center?
I think the biggest thing for me is that seniors fellowship, that camaraderie that's built to know that you're not alone, in spite of some things that may have happened to you in your life over the years, maybe some losses that you've experienced through your life, that there's a place that you can come to, and even if no one speaks to you, even no one says anything, there's just an energy that just draws you in, and it makes you speak to people, and everyone's very engaging, but I don't want any senior throughout the Metroplex to feel like they're alone and isolated. This is a place that you can come to.
Love it. Vicki?
I agree with them, but I just want it to be fun, let them have a place to make new friends, socialize, and just feel a part of.
Love it. Pat, and what would you say? What do you want people to get out of here?
A sense of self-worth,
Okay.
to know that they have value, that they are valued.
Wow. And I can't really speak for everybody here today, but I'm going to try anyway. And I think they'd say that they're getting that from all of the efforts that y'all put into making this place as great as it is. So thank you for taking time out of your schedules, for getting away from all that's going on behind us for just a few minutes to talk to us about what you do here at the Senior Center.
All right, thank you.
My pleasure.
Our pleasure.
And thank you for watching. I'm Starlene Stringer. Please be sure to join us for our next edition of Open Line, live at 1:30 p.m. on Thursday, October 11th. Our topic will be neighborhood associations. If you have questions, email them to ictn@cityofirving.org or connect with us on Facebook, and we'll get answers on our next edition of Open Line. We'll see you then.